First contact protocol, the monitoring station Alpha 9, drifted silently through the Theta 7 sector, its crystalline sensors scanning the empty void of space. For 3 standard years, nothing more exciting than a merchant convoy had passed through this remote region of Coalition space. Sensor operator Crix adjusted his compound eyes and flexed his 4 chitinous arms as he performed routine calibration checks on the detection array. The Vellani species had evolved from hive insects on a high-gravity world, making them perfect for long-duration monitoring duties. Their natural patience and attention to detail had earned them positions throughout the Coalition's early warning network. Crix had served on Alpha 9 for 18 months, watching the same empty star patterns cycle through his displays. Everything changed at 1427 station time when his primary sensor board erupted in warning lights. The energy signature that appeared on his screen defied immediate classification. Unlike the smooth curves of Coalition hyperspace engines, this reading showed sharp spikes and irregular patterns that hurt to analyze. Crix's mandibles clicked nervously as he recalibrated his instruments, hoping the readings were some kind of equipment malfunction. They were not. Commander Thane heard the alert tone from his command chamber and moved through the station corridors with the steady gait of his Sorlex heritage. His people had evolved from apex predators on desert worlds, giving them natural leadership instincts and tactical awareness that made them valuable military commanders. At nearly 3 meters tall, with scales that shifted color based on his emotional state, Thane commanded respect without needing to raise his voice. He found Crix hunched over his sensor station, all 4 arms working frantically across multiple control surfaces. The operator's natural green coloration had darkened to an alarmed brown, indicating severe stress among his species. "Report," Thane ordered, his voice carrying the authority of decades in military service. Crix's primary eyes remained focused on his screens while his secondary pair tracked Thane's approach. "Commander, I have detected an unknown vessel approaching from hyperspace. The energy signature is massive and completely unfamiliar." Thane studied the readings with growing concern. His tactical training recognized the signs of a large warship, but the technology appeared to be from outside Coalition space. Size estimate: approximately 1.8 kilometers in length. Mass readings suggest heavy armor and multiple weapon systems. "Commander, this vessel is larger than most Coalition dreadnoughts." The implications were troubling. No known species in this region built ships of such magnitude. The Vellani created elegant vessels optimized for efficiency. The Sorlex favored speed and maneuverability. Even the massive Aquari ships rarely exceeded 1 kilometer in length. Thane's scales shifted to a deeper red as his stress levels increased. "Time to emergence. 18 minutes, sir. The vessel will exit hyperspace at the edge of our sensor range." Commander Thane activated the emergency communication system, sending priority alerts throughout the Coalition defense network. "Admiral, Zorak would need to know about this development immediately." The Aquari commander oversaw defensive operations for the entire Theta sector from his flagship. The deep current, 18 light minutes away but closing rapidly, Captain Alina Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the UES Harmony, reviewing first contact protocols one final time. The human vessel represented Earth's most ambitious diplomatic mission, carrying cultural experts, trade negotiators, and enough defensive capability to ensure their safe return home. Rodriguez had earned her command through 15 years of distinguished service in the Earth Defense Corps. She had fought in the border conflicts with the Centauri separatists and led diplomatic missions to 3 different minor species. This assignment, however, represented something entirely new for humanity. The coalition of independent worlds had been monitoring human expansion for nearly 2 decades, carefully avoiding direct contact while gathering intelligence about Earth's growing technological capabilities. Recent intelligence suggested they were ready for formal diplomatic relations, but approaching an alliance of 12 different species required careful planning. Lieutenant Sarah Kim looked up from her communications console, her dark eyes reflecting the bridge displays. "Captain, we're receiving multiple encrypted transmissions from throughout the sector. It appears our arrival has caused quite a stir." Dr. James Chen, the mission's cultural specialist, adjusted his glasses and consulted his datapad. The elderly academic had spent his career studying xenosociology and had personally designed the contact protocols they would use. "That's to be expected. Our ship design and technology base are completely foreign to their experience. They're probably trying to determine if we represent a threat." Chief Engineer Marcus Torres called out from his station near the reactor monitoring systems. "All systems showing green, Captain. Defensive shields at standby power, weapons systems locked down as per diplomatic protocols. We're as non-threatening as a ship this size can appear." Captain Rodriguez appreciated her crew's professionalism. Each officer had been selected not just for technical competence, but for their ability to represent humanity in a positive light. First impressions with an entirely new species could determine the course of interstellar relations for generations. "Time to emergence," Rodriguez asked. 40 seconds, Captain, Kim replied. "I'm monitoring coalition frequencies and detecting significant military chatter. Multiple vessels appear to be changing course toward our projected exit point." Rodriguez nodded calmly. Intelligence reports had warned that coalition forces might respond defensively to an unknown contact. The key was to project strength while making peaceful intentions absolutely clear. "All stations, prepare for emergence. Remember, we're here to make friends, not enemies." The EU's Harmony dropped out of hyperspace in a cascade of exotic particles, immediately registering on every sensor array within 3 light hours. The human vessel was unlike anything in coalition databases, with angular hull sections that suggested advanced armor plating and weapon ports that remained closed but clearly visible on monitoring station Alpha 9. Crix watched his displays fill with detailed scans of the mysterious ship. The vessel's design philosophy was completely alien to coalition thinking, where coalition ships emphasized graceful curves and energy efficiency. This human vessel looked like it had been designed for combat first and everything else second. "Commander." Thane studied the tactical analysis with growing appreciation for human engineering. The ship's armor was 3 times thicker than coalition standards. Its reactor output suggested enough power to fight a small fleet, and the weapon signatures were completely unfamiliar but clearly formidable. Sir Crix reported with awe in his voice, "The vessel has opened a communication channel. They're transmitting on standard coalition frequencies." The main display activated, showing the bridge of the human ship. Captain Rodriguez appeared on screen wearing a formal diplomatic uniform, her expression calm and confident. Behind her, the bridge crew worked quietly at their stations, projecting an aura of professional competence. Coalition Monitoring Station. "This is Captain Alina Rodriguez of the United Earthship Harmony. We come in peace, seeking diplomatic contact with the coalition of independent worlds. Please inform your leadership that humanity formally requests permission to open trade and cultural exchange negotiations." Commander Thane felt his scales shift to a cautious yellow as he processed this unexpected development. The vessel's capabilities suggested a major military threat, but the captain's words indicated peaceful intentions. His tactical training warned against trusting appearances, but diplomatic protocol required giving peaceful overtures proper consideration. Captain Rodriguez, this is Commander Thane of Coalition Station Alphanine. Your vessel was not expected in our space. Please maintain your current position while we contact our superiors. Understood, Commander. We will hold position and await further instructions. Please be aware that we have been monitoring Coalition communications for several months in preparation for this contact. We understand your caution and respect your protocols. The communication ended, leaving Thane with a complex tactical situation. The humans had apparently been observing Coalition activity without being detected, suggesting intelligence capabilities that exceeded current estimates. Their ship design indicated military technology that might surpass Coalition standards, yet they were requesting diplomatic contact rather than making demands. Admiral Zorak received the priority, alert while reviewing patrol reports aboard his flagship. The Aquari commander had served in Coalition forces for over 3 decades, earning respect through his tactical brilliance and diplomatic skills. His amphibious nature allowed him to think fluidly about complex problems, making connections that other species might miss. The emergency briefing from Commander Thane contained disturbing implications. A previously unknown species with advanced military technology had appeared at the edge of Coalition space, claiming peaceful intentions, but demonstrating capabilities that could threaten the entire sector. Asterisk. Zorak's gill slits fluttered as he considered his options. Coalition protocol required treating unexpected contacts as potential threats until proven otherwise, but unnecessarily antagonizing a powerful new species could have catastrophic consequences. Communications: contact all patrol squadrons in the Theta sector. Order them to converge on the human vessel's position, but maintain defensive formations only. No aggressive actions without my direct authorization. Within 20 minutes, 8 Coalition warships were accelerating toward the UES Harmony's position. The mixed fleet included 2 Villani cruisers optimized for long-range scanning, 3 Solex destroyers built for speed and firepower, 2 Aquari heavy cruisers with advanced shield systems, and 1 Lumix research vessel equipped with the most sophisticated sensors in Coalition space. On the bridge of the Harmony, Lieutenant Kim tracked the approaching fleet with professional interest. Captain 8 Coalition vessels approaching from multiple vectors. Estimated time to weapons range is 47 minutes. They're maintaining defensive formations, no indication of immediate hostile intent. Captain Rodriguez studied the tactical display with satisfaction. The Coalition response was exactly what their intelligence reports had predicted. Show them respect for their military capabilities while making peaceful intentions clear. Dr. Chen, prepare your cultural briefing materials. It looks like we're going to have some very interested visitors soon. Chief Torres, keep our defensive systems at ready status, but make sure our weapon ports remain sealed. I want them to know we can defend ourselves without appearing threatening. The stage was set for humanity's first formal diplomatic contact, with the coalition of independent worlds, with both sides carefully evaluating the other, while hoping for peaceful resolution. Understanding through strength Admiral Zorek's fleet emerged from hyperspace in a coordinated formation that surrounded the UES Harmony at a respectful distance. The Coalition warships took up positions that demonstrated their tactical capabilities, while avoiding any appearance of immediate aggression. Each vessel kept its weapons powered down but ready, projecting strength without hostility. The Equerry Admiral studied the human ship through the main viewer of his flagship. The deep current, even surrounded by 8 coalition vessels, the Harmony, appeared completely calm and confident. No defensive maneuvering, no weapon system activation, no signs of panic from the crew. Either these humans were extraordinarily disciplined, or they possessed capabilities that made them unworried about the current tactical situation. Captain Rodriguez watched the coalition fleet settle into their positions with professional appreciation. The formation was textbook perfect, allowing maximum firepower concentration while providing mutual support between vessels. She could respect competent opponents even while hoping they would become allies. Dr. Chen approached the captain's chair, with his cultural analysis datapad active. The elderly scholar had been studying coalition species for months in preparation for this moment. Captain, their formation suggests they view us as a significant threat, but are willing to negotiate. The mixed species composition of their fleet indicates sophisticated interspecies cooperation. Lieutenant Kim looked up from her communications station with interest. Captain, I'm receiving a transmission from the coalition flagship. Admiral Zorak requests permission to come aboard for face-to-face negotiations. Rodriguez considered the request carefully. Allowing foreign military officers aboard a human vessel would demonstrate trust and peaceful intentions, but it also meant revealing details about human technology and capabilities. The diplomatic benefits seemed to outweigh the security concerns. Inform Admiral Zorak that he and a small diplomatic party are welcome aboard the Harmony. Prepare Conference Room 3 for formal negotiations. Dr. Chen, I want you present for cultural guidance. Chief Torres, make sure our technology displays are configured for diplomatic purposes rather than military briefings. 30 minutes later, Admiral Zarok materialized in the Harmony's transporter bay, accompanied by 3 other coalition representatives. The Equerry commander stood nearly 2.5 meters tall, with blue-green skin that rippled with subtle patterns indicating his emotional state. His large eyes took in every detail of the human technology around him. Councillor Vex represented the diplomatic cause of the coalition, her crystalline body refracting light in patterns that served as communication among her Lumax people. Commander Quinn of the Villani fleet brought tactical expertise, while Science Officer Drek from the Sorlex contingent would analyze human technological capabilities. Captain Rodriguez greeted the delegation personally, flanked by Dr. Chen and Lieutenant Kim. The formal exchange of diplomatic credentials proceeded smoothly, with each side following protocols designed to show respect while maintaining appropriate caution. The conference room had been prepared with careful attention to coalition cultural requirements. The lighting could be adjusted for different species' visual ranges. The atmospheric composition was suitable for all representatives, and the seating arrangements avoided any symbolic implications of dominance or submission. Admiral Zorak spoke, first, his voice carrying the authority of decades in command. Captain Rodriguez, your arrival in coalition space has created considerable discussion among our leadership. Your vessel's capabilities suggest a level of military technology that exceeds our current estimates of human development. Rodriguez nodded thoughtfully before responding. Admiral, humanity has indeed made significant technological advances in recent years. However, our presence here represents peaceful intentions rather than military expansion. We seek to establish formal, diplomatic, and trade relationships with the coalition. Councillor Vex's crystalline form shifted to patterns indicating polite skepticism. Captain, Your ship carries enough firepower to threaten an entire sector. Why should we believe your intentions are peaceful? Dr. Chen leaned forward slightly, his academic manner putting the coalition representatives at ease. If I may address that concern, Counselor. Humanity has learned through difficult experience that peaceful diplomacy requires the capability to defend oneself if necessary. We bring weapons not to threaten, but to ensure we can negotiate from a position of mutual respect. Commander Quinn's compound eyes focused intently on the human officers. Dr. Chen, your vessel appeared in our space without prior contact or warning. How long has humanity been observing coalition activities? The question touched on one of the most sensitive aspects of human intelligence operations. Rodriguez chose her words carefully while maintaining honesty. Commander, we have been monitoring coalition communications and activities for approximately 18 months. This observation was conducted specifically to prepare for peaceful contact and to understand your cultural and diplomatic expectations. Science Officer Drax' scales shifted to an interested orange coloration. Captain, would you be willing to demonstrate some of your technological capabilities? Our analysis suggests systems that operate on principles unfamiliar to coalition. Science. Captain Rodriguez exchanged glances with her cultural advisor, demonstrating human technology could build trust by showing openness, but it also revealed capabilities that might be seen as threatening. Dr. Chen nodded slightly, indicating his assessment that transparency would serve their diplomatic goals. Chief Torres Rodriguez activated her communication badge. Please join us in Conference Room 3 and bring a selection of our cultural and technological exchange materials. When the chief engineer arrived, he carried a secure container holding various human technological samples prepared specifically for first contact situations. The items were impressive enough to demonstrate human capabilities without revealing military secrets or strategic advantages. Torres activated a small holographic projector that displayed three-dimensional models of human cities, starships, and cultural sites. The coalition representatives watched with fascination as images of Earth's diversity filled the conference room. Our planet supports over 8 billion humans across hundreds of different cultural and ethnic groups, Torres explained, with obvious pride. This diversity has driven rapid technological development as different groups contribute unique perspectives to scientific and engineering challenges. Admiral Zorak studied the holographic displays with growing interest. The human cities showed architectural principles completely different from coalition designs, suggesting innovative approaches to urban planning and resource management. Their starships displayed the same aggressive functionality that characterized the Harmony, but the cultural sites revealed an appreciation for art and beauty that indicated a complex civilization. Counselor. Vex's patterns shifted to indicate curiosity rather than suspicion. Dr. Chen, how does humanity organize political and military cooperation between so many different cultural groups? Dr. Chen smiled at the question, recognizing an opportunity to demonstrate human diplomatic philosophy. Counselor, humanity learned centuries ago that diversity creates strength rather than weakness. Our United Earth government represents voluntary cooperation between different nations and cultures, each contributing their unique capabilities to common goals. The conversation continued for nearly 2 hours as both sides explored areas of mutual interest and potential cooperation. The coalition representatives gradually relaxed as they recognized genuine peaceful intentions behind human capabilities, while the human officers gained valuable insights into coalition culture and decision-making processes. Admiral Zorak eventually addressed the practical implications of human contact. Captain Rodriguez, assuming the Coalition Council approves formal diplomatic relations, what specific areas of cooperation is humanity most interested in pursuing? Rodriguez had prepared extensively for this question with input from Earth's leading economists, scientists, and cultural experts. Admiral, we see tremendous potential for mutual benefit in several areas. Scientific research, collaboration, particularly in propulsion, technology, and materials science. Cultural exchange programs to improve understanding between our peoples. Trade relationships that could benefit both human and coalition worlds. Commander Quinn's attention focused on the military implications. Captain, would humanity be interested in joining coalition defense initiatives? Your technological capabilities could significantly enhance our ability to protect member worlds from external threats. The question touched on long-term strategic considerations that extended far beyond Captain Rodriguez's immediate authority. Commander, such decisions would require extensive consultation with Earth's leadership and approval from our highest governmental levels. However, I can say that humanity values peaceful coexistence and would seriously consider cooperative defense arrangements with trustworthy allies. As the formal negotiations concluded, both sides had achieved their primary objectives. The coalition representatives recognized that humanity possessed formidable capabilities, but appeared genuinely interested in peaceful cooperation rather than conquest or dominance. The human delegation had successfully established initial diplomatic contact while demonstrating strength, competence, and cultural sophistication. Admiral Zorak rose from his seat, his skin patterns indicating satisfaction with the meetings. Results. Captain Rodriguez, I will recommend to the Coalition Council that formal diplomatic relations be established with humanity. Your presentation has been most impressive and reassuring. Captain Rodriguez stood and extended her hand in the human gesture of friendship, which Admiral Zorak accepted after Dr. Chen quietly explained the cultural significance. Admiral, I look forward to the beginning of a long and mutually beneficial relationship between our peoples. As the coalition delegation prepared to return to their ships, Lieutenant Kim approached with a communication from Earth. Captain, we've received updated instructions from Diplomatic Command. They're very pleased with our initial contact and have authorized expanded cultural exchange protocols. The first formal contact between humanity and the coalition of independent worlds had exceeded expectations on both sides. What had begun as a potentially dangerous military confrontation had evolved into the foundation for peaceful cooperation and mutual respect. The human approach of combining strength with genuine diplomatic intentions had proven effective in establishing trust with species whose own histories included similar challenges. As the coalition fleet escorted the UES Harmony toward the sector capital for formal treaty negotiations, both sides began planning for a future that would see humans and coalition species working together among the stars. The warning that had echoed through the Theta sector just hours earlier had transformed into an invitation for unprecedented cooperation and friendship. Asterisk.